Well, is it more good than bad? I do not quite know, but let us get into it. So, DOA is apparently going to promise to destroy all of Aaron's alleged anti Scientology protest movement, which is not going to destroy much because he really doesn't have anti Scientology protest movements. But anyway, but let's get into DOA's confessions and his promises to destroy Aaron for, which I think there he is correct, for offending Laura and spreading some pretty vicious rumors. But shilling out of the way, please give the other channel, Examining Kubrick, a chance. Please consider signing up for channel memberships. Some new content will be put up shortly. He entered into forbidden territory. Now, if you're a longtime subscriber, you probably know these incidents, so I will go through them very, very quickly. But if you know Aaron, he just does not like answering certain questions. And when certain problems or crises or scandals have happened, he always tries to reword them to say that they're not so bad. So DOA touched upon a lot. I do mean a lot of controversies that Aaron tries to avoid, like Steve Mango. For those who don't know, Mango was a gay Scientologist who left the church and very publicly criticized them, which obviously they did not like. And he's a very young Scientologist, so he was very early in the 2000s. And for that crime, he's always been a little suspicious with the church. But apparently, the quote anti Scientology people don't like him either. So he was taking some auditing secretly with Karen, who is an ally of Aaron. And Mango was feeling uncomfortable. He exposed Karen's independent Scientology and created a massive scandal. And for that, they really went after him. They were very vicious. Currently, Mango is basically retired. He's in a lot of health problems, so he's out of the fight. But good on him. For the public record, he did expose Karen, and he says very clearly that a lot of his alleged friends and allies turned their backs on him, including Aaron. And then we have the infamous cigar bar incident where Aaron decided, for whatever reason, scream and yell at a woman, although he says he wasn't directing the insults at her. He was just being very loud because she didn't want him sexually, and that created a huge incident. The girl's boyfriend got into a fight with Aaron. He got knocked out. He called the police, tried to lie to them. And that's not the only incident. There's another incident at a bar. Yeah, there's a second bar incident where he was throwing beads at two women who, again, did not like his advances, and they were also with boyfriends. Seems Aaron has a weird tendency to try to pick up women who have a boyfriend right there in front of him. They don't like him. He starts insulting them with a lot of harsh language. So, DOA touched on a lot of forbidden territory, which usually Aaron's allies and friends who are well aware of these things, they do know these things, or they're aware of some of these problems and just kind of like pretend they never happened, or it's like, well, that was just Aaron. He was just a human being. So now it's all coming out. And so DOA is looking up the Google and looking into harsh critics like Mango and Doug Scott Kramer. Now, do I really believe DOA is on the path of truth and justice? No, I don't believe it for a moment. I understand he's looking out for himself. But again, he is touching upon a real problem.
Farrell Cheryl paid for it. Farrell Cheryl. But Aaron didn't come and say that. He didn't say, hey, man, we'll try to get Farrell Cheryl reimbursed for some of that. It's not about not giving it to a corporation, because he told Liz that, pay the $5,000, even though you're coming to us and asking for help, pay the $5,000 and we'll reimburse you. What did he fucking do? He came in and attacked her.
So let's be very clear. Laura FM, who DOA is going out with and defending, has her own problems. She's also been very toxic. And at these alleged protests, she can be very, very violent and just curse up a storm. So let's not make Laura into this dainty, pure, beautiful flower. That's not what she is. However, was Aaron going too far? Yeah, I think he stepped over the line when clearly Laura was shaking and crying, and Aaron kept interrogating her and Liz Ferris. Why? Over money? Which allegedly was a gift to Liz. Well, if it's a gift, it's a gift. It's over. Maybe you should not have given the gift, but the gift does not give you the right to start interrogating people. But there you go. It was from his foundation, so Aaron felt he was obligated to stand up for the honor of himself and his foundation. But I do think, even if you believe that, it's like, yeah, beyond a certain point, it was getting very abusive. And Liz Ferris has explicitly said that, yes, she suffered enormously after that incident. and even thought about taking her own life. So it got really, really bad. And she does confirm, yes, Laura also felt really bad that she was being accused of being an addict. And she did not like that she was being, again, emotionally and mentally abused. I'm kind of torn here. Can we really trust any of these people? No. Liz and Laura and DOA have many, many issues with credibility. They've been very toxic and abusive on their own and have been involved in some criminal conspiracies. This is a dilemma that Aaron's critics have questionable pasts and their credibility is not always the strongest. However, is that really that important? No, I don't think so. Again, the question is, what is Aaron up to? And at this point, it is what it is. It seems like he's running a pyramid scheme. He's calling it a charitable foundation, but it is no such thing. It does feel like a kind of, and again, let's be clear, it's a little pathetic, but it is kind of a mafia organization which he's organized. And either you pay as well as respect him. And if you don't, he's going to come after you and he's going to send his minions to torment and beat you up. And now some of the victims are speaking up and it's upsetting him because these are people who were his allies and or friends. So he's kind of stuck. Either he's going to have to admit that, yeah, these people, yeah, they were really evil and criminals. Yeah, I don't understand this. Well, if they were evil criminals, why were you working with them? Wouldn't that make you an evil criminal? So he's just very much stuck in the middle of this weird crisis he himself created, where it's like, okay, you want to, quote, empower these protesters, but then when they don't do what he says, he gets really angry. He gets really angry and tries to brainwash them on air live. And when that doesn't work, okay, fine, we're going to spread false rumors and try to destroy them. And there, I think, again, DOA, as usual, was being a little too vile and vulgar, but he does make a point that the SPTV creators who allegedly will stand up against Scientology and its abuses when they put out false rumors, when they try to character assassinate, when they send the OSA goons, they're yelling and screaming, OSA, OSA, OSA. But when Aaron does it, they don't say anything. They're magically very silent.
I shared about Liz's father being gone and Laura's father being in the thing. You guys aren't going to say a fucking word to defend Laura? You're not going to say a thing? Liz Gale? Oh no, Nora? Natalie? Serge? All you guys. Why is no one saying a fucking word? Now you know.
Well, again, it is true that so far Liz Ferris has publicly said that Laura's not a drug addict. That is about it. Nora did something on Taylor Swift and Tom Cruise. Serge was on an Italian vacation. I don't know if he's back. Yeah, you have to ask questions. You're on Italian vacation? I thought kids were being locked up in hotels and screaming, and oh my God, the abuse, and you're taking a vacation? Anyway, that's where he was. And of course, the other SPTV people are not saying anything. One of them was particularly amusing. Natalie Webster was seeing a lot of comments on her live for Liz and Laura and just ignored it. This wasn't one or two messages. Even with the mods censoring people, there were tons of messages saying, we love Laura, we love Liz. And I am not joking. Natalie Webster was playing a video looking at herself. Yes, her content is her looking at herself, praising herself, laughing and smiling at herself, smiling and laughing, period. So there we go. When charges of abuse happen, the response is Natalie will play videos of herself smiling to herself, laughing to herself, laughing to other people, and ignoring factual data on her own screen. Yep. So it's pretty fair to say at least a lot of the SPTV creators are lost in their own weirdo fantasy space where whatever Aaron says is the reality. And if he says he's totally innocent and a blue magical pink panda bear with superpowers, well, that is the law. That is what he is. He's a big, beautiful, magical panda bear. And there you go. And if you disagree with that, well, you're part of OSA, or you're evil, or you're stupid, or you're high on drugs. Pick one. It's multiple choice. It could be all of the above. But not everything is lost. Apparently, DOA had some good things to say about streets. some good things to say about Confident Chris, so he's not really becoming a genuine independent critic. But apparently, at least a lot of Aaron's crimes will be coming up in a lot of his future videos. And I am here for it because I've been reporting on this for quite a while, and I've been getting the OSA. Well, now DOA is apparently joining OSA too. So there we are. So he's not a good critic. He's not an honest critic, but at least he is being critical about a few things we should be critical regarding Aaron's magical panda past.